أهلا وسهلا فيكم أعزائي المشاهدين والمستمعين، وبدنا نرحب فيكم مجددا لنستكمل آخر فقرة من هذا البرنامج. في هاي المحطة رح نحكي عن ديانا الشاعر، الاسم اللي برز في رياضة الفروسية حول العالم، حيث ديانا شاركت في بطولة الفروسية في هاغن في ألمانيا، واللي شاركت كالدولة العربية الوحيدة في هاي المسابقة. ديانا مش بس شاركت في هاي المسابقة الوحيدة، بل شاركت في العديد من المسابقات العالمية، وعم تتجهز وتحضر حالها لتمثل فلسطين في المسابقة الدولية العالمية في بطولة الفروسية في فرنسا. ديانا استغلت هاي المنصة الكبيرة والنجاح اللي حققته لكمان تعرف العالم عن فلسطين وعن الثقافة الفلسطينية. خلونا نرحب سويا كلنا بديانا الشاعر، الرياضية الفلسطينية المحترفة في ركوب الخيل، المعنى الآن عبر تقنية السكايب على الهواء مباشرة. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Yani, we are so happy and we're beyond happy that we got the chance to chat and talk to you about your achievements and accomplishments in your sports career, and even your amazing role and participating to share and spread awareness about Palestine and the Palestinian culture, showing the bright and positive side. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First of all, we would love to hear about your childhood in Russia and how did you manage to find that connection to Palestine living outside of it?
Yeah, sure. My family has Palestinian background. My father is Palestinian, and actually my Palestinian family moved back then when it was still Soviet Union. My grandfather was the first Palestinian ambassador in the Soviet Union, and this is how family decided to spend a bit longer time in Soviet Union and then in Russia. Actually, I was growing up there, but of course Palestinian culture was very much integrated in our family, you know, Palestinian food and our traditions. So even though I was growing up in Russia, I was still feeling a lot Palestinian.
Yeah.
And I was also interested a lot in the culture and, you know, wanted to spread more information about Palestine there as well.
That's amazing. And when we talk about dressage, there's a little bit of risk included in it. Do you consider yourself a risk taker or someone who likes to get out of their comfort zone most of the time?
Definitely. If it's not like, you know, if I always stay in the comfort zone, it gets a bit boring for me. So I'm not a routine person. I need to put challenges for myself and always to overcome some kind of fear or challenges.
Yeah. So what's the most interesting and beautiful thing about the sport or being a rider? I've heard that horses are very loyal and caring and teach their partners so much.
That's true, and they are very sensitive animals. So they feel your mood, they feel all kind of changes. And actually, when you get the harmony with this animal and they become your sports partners, you have to learn to control yourself a lot as well and your emotions, because they feel all little changes of your mood. So you have to not only control yourself, but also control your partner. What is an animal who can't talk to you? They can also have different kind of moods. You know, sometimes they feel uncomfortable with something. So you have to learn this harmony with yourself and with horse. So that's very challenging, but it's also a very interesting journey.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to find that harmony or to harmonize with your horse, your partner? And when did you actually feel that you achieved or reached that level?
I mean, with my horse, I think that I have her since she was 4 years old. So It's a long journey. Now she's 14. So it's a very long way we had to go through together. And I think, like, you know, it's actually last 3 years that I feel that we are really have this harmony. But what is interesting about our sports that you have to learn every day. So it's every day something new. And I think still we are on the way of getting this level of harmony we want to have. but I'm quite happy already on the level we achieved now. But I still know that there is room for us to get even better scores and even, you know, to improve more.
That's really
what makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting and amazing. When you even are talking about your horse, we can feel the passion in your voice. So did you face any troubles or barriers as a woman and half Palestinian to reach and achieve your goals in the sport field? Is it hard for women in general to get the equal chances to prove themselves?
No, to be honest, if I look at my experience in Korea, in sports career and other fields, maybe I was lucky. I can't say that I ever faced any kind of challenges as a woman, even though I used to work a lot with men. But maybe I'm lucky with that. So somehow I never felt that this was like putting kind of challenges for me, just being a woman. Maybe it's my mindset. If I do something, you know, I don't think about like even gender. So I'm just like, if I'm somewhere, I try to stay professional. And also with horseback riding, for example, in dressage, we have a lot of women. Mm-hmm. So no, that's definitely not the case. So I can say that I was lucky not to feel any kind of problems because of my gender.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that a successful and amazing woman like you didn't face any troubles or barriers to achieve and reach their goals and achievements and accomplishments in life. So how could you describe your journey with passing that connection to Palestine, to the world, and taking a huge part to educate people about the Palestinian culture and heritage?
Yes, 2.5 years ago, I was participating at pre-Olympics qualification with my horse, but unfortunately she got little injury, and then we had COVID, you know, so because of the COVID, Olympics were postponed. And then I said, okay, I'm not the person who can stay quiet and do nothing. I said, okay, I want to do something for the community. I want to contribute in a way I can. And as you know, during COVID, we all had to stay at home. And the only thing we had is like, you know, Skype or Zoom or something.
Yeah.
So I started doing interviews with different talented Palestinian people in Palestine and around the world. I just started to do my research by social media, and I was lucky enough that I didn't get like no responses. People were actually, they didn't know me, but they agreed to give me the interviews, and it was really interesting journey because I've met so many talented artists, diplomats, you know, business people. I mean, it was a beautiful journey that started for me into Palestinian community, the whole world. Mm-hmm. And after a couple of months, I decided to create another platform, as I think that culture and sports, those two fields I'm interested in, are very powerful tools of public diplomacy.
Yeah.
And very often when you speak about Palestinian cause abroad, people, they kind of distance themselves from that because they say, oh, this is too difficult. And I face this problem a lot. And then I thought, okay, the best way to tell the story of Palestine and about the pain and everything what Palestinian people go through is through culture. Because Palestinian artists, they talk about the cause through their works. Mm-hmm. You can't distinguish culture from the Palestinian cause. And I thought that maybe it makes sense to talk about pain and the situation, but through the beauty of culture. And somehow it works because I can see that we started to do different kind of cultural collaborations, and I decided to create a cross-cultural bridge for Palestine, Belarus. So the idea is to create these cultural bridges, Palestine and different countries, different kind of artistic collaborations. And I absolutely love this journey because I can see that there are so many people that actually are interested to know more about Palestine.
Yeah. So do you find that culture and art is the easiest way or path to reach and educate the international audience about the Palestinian struggle, culture, heritage, and what people have been through since 1948. And I want to hear more about the reaction of some of the international audience when they heard about so many stories from many Palestinian influencers and successful stories.
Yes, I do think that talking about Palestine through culture and even fashion, because there are many talented designers, Palestinian designers around the world. And for example, even if you are wearing a shirt like me today, like having Palestinian embroidery, it's always a very good opening for the conversation. Like, you know, you can always start to talk about like embroidery and different kind of things. And then this is the way you can open up more topics. Very often people ask me like, okay, you have a beautiful shirt, where it comes from? And they say, okay, this is Palestinian women in refugee camps, they do this works. And then, you know, this is the way you can open up this topic and people start to get interested more. And of course, when they see the interviews with many talented Palestinian people, they get a little bit image of Palestinian people, because what I see that in the international media, unfortunately, we don't see much. We don't see the face of Palestine. You know, it's always about the conflict. Of course, it's always about and kind of a lot of negativity, what I don't like. And when you show the positive side, the beautiful side, and also at the same time you speak about the pain, people start to open up and they see that not everything what is shown in the international media is the image of Palestine.
Yeah, and that leads us to this question. As a diplomat who's representing Palestine, what's the most common misconception or wrong idea or image people have or think of Palestine, and why are all of these misjudgments are taken?
You know, when you speak about Palestine, first of all, people always say, oh, it's dangerous there. And they speak about Palestine dangerous, and also in general Palestinian people being dangerous. And even though they never speak about self-defense, what's at the moment happening about Ukraine, you know, when they speak about Palestinians, they say, oh, they are dangerous. And this is a big misunderstanding, you know, and so many people don't understand, like, in which kind of conditions Palestinian people live, what do they have to go through every day. When you start to talk about checkpoints, many people even don't know about it, you know? And so I think this is in general the problem, that Palestinians still, it's changing a little bit now in the world's media, but it's like everything with a dangerous point, you know? There is nothing about really culture, nothing about education, because you can see how many educated, talented people there are in Palestine. And this is unfortunate that we don't see in the modern media a lot. You know?
Yeah. Did this image made you feel that you're responsible and somehow, and that you want to share and show the true side and beautiful side of Palestine?
Definitely, especially after my last visit to Palestine, and also as I started these interviews, I thought I'm going to do maybe 10 interviews, you know, or something like this. I started to discover so many incredibly talented people, and the list is getting bigger and bigger. And I really want to show to the world, of course, that there are so many incredible people who had a very hard journey, who had very hard youth, or like, you know, those that were growing up in Palestine as well, and that they have incredible strengths to get up and to achieve what they achieved now. So I think this is what is important for the world to know. And of course, in all those interviews, we always speak a little bit about the private journey of this person. So people can understand through the personal story a little bit the situation in general.
How interviewing Palestinians all around the world brought you closer to your Palestinian roots, and what did you gain and learn from all of those interviews?
I think, of course, I got to know more and more about the culture. From every interview, you learn something new for yourself. Of course, I felt that now I have like I had a family in Palestine, but now it became bigger because I got some new friends. and we keep on contact after the interviews as well. Also, the community is very supportive. For example, in my sports career now, I get a lot of support, and it's nice to feel this community feeling.
Let me tell you that in Palestine that we are so proud and excited right now because you're representing Palestine in such a big event.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud to do that.
That's amazing. We are so proud of you, and we want to hear more about one of your latest achievements, which is representing Palestine in the International Grand Prix CDI in Germany. How was the experience? And you're also preparing to present Palestine in France this month. We would love to know more details about that as well.
Yes, at the moment we are qualifying for World Championships. World Championships is going to take place in Denmark in August. Mm-hmm. And this competition that we had now in Germany, it was a big competition, one of the biggest in Germany, with all the top riders. And we achieved our first qualification there. So we need one more qualification, and this is why we are going now to the competition in France. It's going to be close to Paris. So the goal is for us to secure the second qualification, mm-hmm. as the time frame is until the 1st of July. So we're going to have some more competitions as well after this one, but I would prefer that we qualify after the 2 shows so we can breathe out a little bit and prepare for World Championships.
We wish you good luck, Diana. Last question that I personally want to know, are you planning to visit Palestine in the near future?
Yes, I would love to go to Palestine, and if it works out, I would love to go this year, maybe after the World Championships.
That's amazing. And what's your favorite Palestinian dish?
Maklube.
Everyone says maklube. I don't know. Why is it so important for all Palestinians who live outside? What's the magical thing about maklube?
Yes, and masakhan as well, I can say.
Masakhan, okay, that's a very interesting and smart choice.
Yes, but you know what? When I was interviewing people, I had this question as well, and I was laughing because it was always maklube.
It's always maklube. There's something magical about maklube.
Definitely.
We want to thank you so much for this amazing interview. We had the pleasure to talk to you, Diana. Good luck, and thank you again for taking an amazing part and role for sharing and spreading awareness about Palestine and the Palestinian culture and heritage. Thank you so much, and good morning.
Thank you very much.
أعزائي المشاهدين والمستمعين، هم نكون وصلنا وإياكم لنهاية جمعتنا لليوم. بشوفكم على خير وإلى اللقاء.
أصبح عليك الخير يا بلدنا، يا زينة البلدان يا بلدنا. أصبح عليك الخير يا بلدنا، يا زينة البلدان يا بلدنا. يسعد صباحك يا وطننا، يا محلى شمسك يا بلدنا. يسعد صباحك يا وطننا، يا محلى شمسك يا بلدنا. أصبح عليك الخير